guys, and welcome back to the AV Club. We have a lot to go over today. We're going to talk about ONYX Motorbikes today. It's a company that's been in San Francisco roughly since about 2017. ONYX CTY, which you can see right here. The ONYX CTY was a little bit smaller version of the RCR. It doesn't go as fast, it goes roughly about 30-35 miles per hour. Has a smaller battery and a little bit less range. But the great thing is it's an electric bike that you can ride in the bike lane, and it goes fast enough that you can usually ride it in most cities. Great little commuter bike to get you from A to B. Then in 2018, the Kickstarter started to happen for the ONYX RCR, or the Retro Cafe Racer. And as soon as this thing got on the scene, it blew up. People were clamoring for it. A lot of people went to the demo. It just took San Francisco and New York by storm. The East Coast found out about it, started ordering bikes. San Francisco was the first headquarters. The bikes are decently pricey if you have to think about it for the average consumer. After taxes, they can easily get over $5,000. Most people in America are not going to pay $5,000 for an electric bike.
I don't like this one bit.
With that being said, the ONYX can do many things. It has dirt tires, so you can take it off-road if you really want to. I wouldn't totally suggest it if you really want to go off-roading. Get a Sur-Ron, definitely made for it. The ONYX also has 3 different modes. It has an Eco, which is a small or a short mode, where basically you're going very slow, about 20 miles an hour, and you can get anywhere from about 40 to about 50 miles in real-world range, being realistic. The specs say 70 or 80 on the site. They're lying. That's BS. The normal mode, you can go roughly about 30 miles of range at about 30 to 40 miles an hour. And then the sport mode, you can go about 55 miles per hour or roughly about 15 to 20 miles. Now, guys, that's with the 23Ah battery, which is the standard battery that the ONYX comes with nowadays. People who have them, it's now spread over to 48 states. People in Hawaii now have them. I very highly doubt anyone in Alaska has one. In the past few years, since 2018, and it's now 2021, the bike and e-bike scene has just gotten crazy. E-bikes have blown up, especially with COVID last year. People getting to and from places, especially needing small transportation. I'd say maybe 10 months ago, I ordered my bike. And this was back in actually, wow, it was almost a year ago. This was back in early last May. I ordered it online. I was searching a bunch of different bikes. I looked at the Sur-Ron, looked at the Monday motorbike, I looked at the Super 73 RX, and I compared what I wanted them to do. The ONYX basically just came out ahead. It had the speed, it had the torque, it had the battery power, it had everything that I was looking for. I'm not a big fan of mid-drive, so it had a hub drive motor, which was great. A few things in my opinion that sets a business apart when they are trying to succeed and scale up properly. You have to be very transparent with your clients and your customer base. If you mess up, you have to tell them. If you are doing great, thank your customers for, giving out, your name and promoting your business and your brand. On top of it, you also have to have great customer service. If you have a product but you can't deliver service for that product, that's not good. And then soon people are going to take something if it breaks, and they're going to take it, sell it, they're going to get rid of it, throw it away, and then that's going to be the end of your product. And people are going to start hearing about it because everyone talks nowadays. A happy customer will tell maybe 4 or 5 people. A pissed off customer will tell every single person that they know and every single person that they meet from now on. They'll just tell them, your product quality needs to be outstanding. Now, granted, ONYX's quality of their bikes in the past few years has been amazing. The past year though, we have been seeing in the forums, issues with this bike, or it came without this, or it came without, this, or they didn't install something that I told them to put on and I paid for. So then ONYX would have to send them something, and then they'd have to try to install it themselves. I fortunately live in one of the places, San Francisco, where the ONYX headquarters used to be. ONYX started here in San Francisco, then it moved another headquarters to LA to expand. Because of what's happened in the past few weeks, the LA headquarters is still open. The SF headquarters has completely shut down, which is not good. And we all kind of saw this coming up to last year. Last year, roughly around when I ordered my bike, We're gonna call the person NA, which is surprisingly close to their initials anyway. And they were amazing at their customer service, and they're amazing at getting back to people. That person, NA, who then got ousted from the company or left the company, was no longer there, and we noticed it through emails like, hey, this person isn't emailing us anymore. Another person is now taking it over. Then the emails started to get slower. They would not get back to you as fast. That was one of the first things. Then about 3 months ago, we started to keep seeing more and more people getting delayed. Not to mention COVID slowed things down, so it took, instead of 90 days to get a bike, people are looking at 120 days. People are looking at 150 days. Also, it was hard finding drivers. People have been getting their bikes, but the production quality on them has gone down. People are missing things. Bolts are coming out. The displays are starting to mess up. I luckily have gone over 1,200, almost 1,300 miles now, and have not had any real issues with my bike whatsoever, which is great. Knock on wood. The past 3 months, we just kind of watched the quality go down, the delays. We see that they've moved to LA. We're seeing all these videos of the LA warehouse. It was roughly about, I'd say roughly in the mid part of March, early part of March. We watched a complete entire shit show meltdown on social media. One of the grandest displays that I've ever seen of a new startup company ever go under. And I've watched a few inertian boards, boosted boards. I own a bunch of them and I wish they didn't go under. Talk about boosted, not inertian. And now we're looking at possibly ONYX. To people that own ONYX bikes, hats off to you. I'm keeping mine. People that are purchasing ONYX bikes, it's a gamble. Hopefully you get your bike. Hopefully you don't have to talk with them about any issues. People that are thinking of getting a bike, I personally would just recommend you get a Metacycle at this point. It's around the same price point, $5,000. You can get on the waiting list. You want to look at the company, you want to look at the quality, you want to look at the customer service, and you also want to make sure they have no meltdowns on social media like we witnessed in great fashion last month. It was so asinine that the webpage was changing almost hourly, if not every few, from very vague things to a web page where you couldn't even click on things, to a web page where it was calling out random people by name. Not the best look as a company. Then, right after that happened, I saw the shitstorm, and I already ordered a 41Ah battery from ONYX. This is roughly an $1,800 to $1,900 battery. They said that it would be in my hands within a month. So I put my cart on hold like any normal person would, thinking this company's imploding. I put the cart on hold no later than probably 12 hours later, that next Monday, I got a message. No, actually, wait, I take that back. I got a call, because I have the feeling they did not want any of a paper trail. So I got a call from one of the people saying, hey, we noticed your card isn't going through, blah, 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 blah. I explained to him, okay, I don't have too much faith in the company right now just because of what I just saw. He's like, oh, don't worry, it'll be fine. You know, just let us process it. Tell the bank to let it go through. And, you know, within the next week, you'll have your battery, because we have a few of them in the shop. We just need to make sure your card can go through. I talked to my bank. They also tell me, okay, hey, it'll take you 48 hours for the card to take off a freeze and then for the charges to go back through again. I wait over 5 days just to give them ample enough time for this card to be released. I messaged them back a week later. You know, I took it off and hold, ready to get my battery. Nothing. Wait. Nothing. I'm like, no battery, they're not getting any more of my money. I contact my bank again, so now, because it's the second time I have to dispute this, I now have to write them a written letter. The good thing is San Francisco, LA, New York, we have giant communities now, and we also have an online community that no matter what, if you guys really need help on your bike, there are gonna be people there to help you. Listen to what they have to say and try to work on your bike yourself. And worst case scenario, I'm sure because e-bikes are getting more popular, more and more mechanics down the road are going to start picking these up and will start working on them. So it's just a matter of time. We'll see. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.